Hey everyone, okay, so hooded eye tutorial, which is coming up. This is not the look that you're going to be seeing in this video. I quickly stuck this on for you now to explain that this video is about technique and not color. A lot of times on hooded eye tutorials, we see matte colors and browns. That's what we see predominantly when we're dealing with hooded eyes. And the reason for that is because a matte color recedes easier and brown is universal. So we see a lot of it. But with this tutorial, I wanted to do something really fun. So in the upcoming tutorial, you'll see I used greens and oranges and really bright punchy colors. But I quickly put this on to show you that I use the exact same techniques that you're about to see, but it's about the technique, not the color. So this, as you can probably see, is quite a light eyeshadow, but within the tutorial coming up, it's much deeper, it's stronger, it's kind of Arabic style. It's very, very pretty. I think it looks great, but I wanted to show you, just learn the techniques and then you can pick any color you want. And if you want to just use browns, use browns. If you want to use blues or greens or oranges or reds, you can go for it. As long as you've got the technique right, everything is good. And let me just kind of mention just kind of quickly about this technique. This area here is oftentimes the most problematic on all hooded eyes because the skin will come down. If you can get that skin and color it with eyeshadow, it will go a long way in order to make your eye look more beautiful, more open and more almond shaped. So let's get on with the tutorial. Thank you. Hey everyone, okay, so today we're going to be talking about hooded eyes, doing a full tutorial just on hooded eyes. Now, the biggest mistake people make, I think, when dealing with hooded eyes, particularly very hooded eyes, is that what they do is they lift the eyebrows or lift it up, they place color into the socket, and of course, when you let go, the eyelid falls down, meaning most of the color has been hidden. Now, the problem with hooded eyes is it's two issues. One is that the bulk of this area here is covering the lid. And the other problem is, particularly as we get older with hooded eyes, is this area, which is right here, it comes down and it creates a fold here like this, and it gives the illusion of a droopy eye as well. And that's the area that we need to deal with because that's the really important area and where a lot of people go wrong. So in most hooded eye tutorials, you see brown eyeshadow, always brown, always matte. Well, we're not going to do that in this one. We're going to use lots of color. So let's make a start. So the first thing I'm going to do is apply a bright turquoise eyeshadow, and I'm going to apply this underneath the eye. So I'm going to start underneath the eye, and I'll explain why. So I'm going to start at the end and bringing it in. And don't be afraid. Generally speaking, when you go underneath the eye, the longer your face, the more you can bring this shadow down because you create balance, right? But it's entirely up to you. Do whatever you want. Now stop at that outside corner right here. That's where you want to stop, right there. Now, if you've got a bit of eye that's coming down here, you don't want to round it because you're going to be cutting off half of that skin. So instead of rounding it, think about looking straight forward in the mirror. Let me bring this mirror a little bit closer. Instead of rounding it, think about just extending it so it's more of a straight line. So it's just coming out just slightly past. So when you're looking straight ahead, it's more of a straight line. Doesn't have to be perfect. This is going to start to look crazy really quickly, but you know, we've got some tricks up our sleeves. So to make this easier on ourselves, particularly if you've got very hooded eyes, it's a good idea to curl your lashes and apply mascara first. So we're going to do that. Okay, so lashes are done. Now I've opted to use Lashify rather than mascara. Now I spoke about these before because I just think they're really, really cool. So with mascara done or whatever you've used, you've got more definition on the upper eye so you can kind of see where you're going. Now next you're going to need to take a tissue or a shadow shield. Now I'm using a shadow shield, and this is by Alexis Vogel. A tissue works as well. I just really like this. I think it's really cool. Now what we're going to do is place this tissue or shield on the outside corner of the eye like this. Now this is where people will make a mistake. They will go up. We don't want to go up. We want to go out because we want to collect and grab this bit of loose skin. So the placement of this is very, very important. Now, when we do this, the first few times you do it, you may make a mistake. And when you pull it away, it can look very, very harsh. Bear that in mind. But you know me, don't get your nicks in a twist. We will sort it out. So I'm going to use a bright color in the transition, like a orangey brown and then like a blue, all right? So let's use this palette, the Sassy Siennas by Dose of Colors. And I'm going to take a mixture of these two. Why not? So let's just pop it in, get some product on. Oh, that's quite intense. So we'll get some product onto the brush. So again, remember, place it at an angle so it's in the same line as your lower eyeshadow, and then we're just going to place this in the crease and extend it out, okay? And then bring it onto the eyelid as well. So just cover the lid. All across the eyelid. Now, when you pull this away, it's going to look quite intense. Don't worry about it. What you want to make sure is that you got this skin. So for me, I've got this really ugly vein that travels through my outside of my eye, and it looks like loose skin. Make sure you've got that, and make sure that the lower and this area here, that they connect. Very important. So we will deal with any issues in a sec. Now, remember, makeup's fun. You know, let's use our finger. Let's take a nice shiny eyeshadow. Whether you want to put shine on your brow bone is entirely up to you. On some people it can make them look puffy, on others it's fine. We're going to use it for this tutorial. Why not? Just putting it on with my finger. Just like that. Now we're going to go in with a blue. So I'm going to use the Snow Angels palette, and I'm going to pick up this darkest blue, and that is going to be what we place on the outside corner. So placing the shadow shield or the tissue on the outside corner, making sure that it's in that straight line. And I'm just going to pop this deepest blue. I'm just putting it on the outside corner where that horrid loose skin is. Just bring it in ever so slightly, make sure it connects on the outside corner. And there you go. So now we've got an orange, a blue, and a turquoise. So now we need to soften things up. With a nice blending brush, all you're going to do is just start to soften this darker color first. This is the color we want to just diffuse onto the eyelid and the crease. So just blend it back and forward. Okay, so you know what we're going to do now? I know you know. We're going to soften this corner here because it's too hard for my liking. We're going to take our dry cosmetic sponge. Bought this down the market for a penny. And we're going to apply some cream foundation that matches our skin tone. First thing I'm going to do is start underneath the eye, and I'm just going to correct that kind of outside corner and just soften it down. When I get to this edge, I'm going to take the sponge on its side and I'm going to work it in. So the shadow is softening from the outside in, because that's where it's most intense. I hope you can see that in the film here, because I can really see it in the mirror that's in front of me. So just one more time, working out and in. And this also takes away a tiny bit of that shimmer. So if you had too much, voila. Let's focus on this inner corner. So we're just going to highlight the tear duct area here. So right here and this inner corner. Now, because we've done such a strong look, I always think that everything is so incomplete without darkening this inner rim, which we will do in a second. But I mean, normally I would, this inner corner, I'm like, do it precise, do it precise. I just think it's just makeup. Let's just, you know, do whatever makes you happy. If you like it very precise, do it precise. If you like it a lot of shimmer, you know, go for it. We've used orange and blue and turquoise. You know, there's no subtlety in this. So I'm popping a black kohl pencil into the waterline. I kind of feel that with the turquoise and the black eyeliner, it's kind of got that Arabic kind of feel to it. It's just, I love it. I love these kind of colors because everything is about the eye. And just to reiterate what we've done here, what we've done is, because we've not tried to take the eyeshadow up, we have pulled it out. And by pulling it out, we are going past our natural eye area and we're covering the bit of skin that droops down. And that's why using a stencil is so important. And it's also why using a sponge to just gently correct is very important too, because otherwise it's too strong. For some people love that really hard line. I don't really like it. I think it's too much. But that's it. That's the look. And this will cover a hooded eye because you have gone up high enough with that orange color. You've used the darkest color on this bit of skin, and underneath you could use the same color, or a green or a purple or a blue, or just a taupe or a shimmering taupe, whatever makes you happy. But you are, you know, you look gorgeous and your eyes are standing out. Now I'm just going to reiterate one more time, because a lot of people, you know, this is my ideal eye. Anything smoky and dark and elongated. And even though a kohl pencil will shrink an eye, it just looks sexy. There's something very, very sexy about a kohl eyeliner. And if you find that your eye waters when you do it, you can start off tiny bit, and a tiny bit, and keep going all the way along. But there you go. That is my tips for getting sexy, smoky, gorgeous, colourful hooded eye. Stunning. See you next time. Bye-bye.